Holy cow. Look where we're at. It's possibly the last episode of Project Lock-In. And I thought for the last episode, I thought I'd go out with a big bang. I'm going to make this a pretty long episode. It's probably going to be the next week or two of me documenting what's going on. So we're starting out not, the best news. So I'm down a few pounds. I did gain a pound last night somehow, but then I think I gained 2 pounds last night, but then I lost 1 pound. But then today I had a sub sandwich because somebody bought me some food and I can't turn that down. So I've been basically starving myself. So after the sub sandwich, because I don't know how many calories in that. I can't track that. I can't track the amount of bread, the amount of meat, the cheese, whatever they use. So I don't know how much it is. I'm just assuming that it's a lot of calories. And then I had a cookie on top of that. Now, because of that, I've basically been starving myself the whole day to make up for it. I had 2 grilled cheeses with low-calorie bread, low-calorie cheese, and a protein shake. And that's probably all I'm going to eat today. But we're at the gym. It's been over a week of me completely locked in, which has not happened in a long freaking time. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So that's how you know we're in the right direction. We're starting off this video with a leg day. So we're going to go hit legs. We're going to see how we do. I guess we'll get into it. I don't know.
Too strong. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 squats. Then a 10-kilometer run. Do it every single day.
Holy cow, guys, this is not good. I'm I'm an hour late to my own birthday little celebration. But I was gonna talk about how I'm not gonna be counting calories today because it's my birthday celebration and stuff. Typically, I don't really freaking care if it's my birthday or not. But other people are wanting to go out to lunch and stuff, so probably not going to count the calories. I don't want you guys thinking this is my way of not locking in. I'm still locked in. I'm still going to go to the gym tomorrow. It's just going to kind of slow down the process of, oh, someone's honking me. The light was green. But it's just going to slow down the process of how fast I lose the weight. So, yeah, we're going to jump back into the dieting tomorrow. And, yeah, I guess we're going to see what the damage is. But yeah, I'm freaking late to my own birthday. Holy cow. I slept in. That's not good. So I'm working on the podcast. It's literally almost 6:30 a.m. And I still have to go to the gym. I might post another video on YouTube. Got a lot of stuff to do. I probably won't get a lot of sleep. And I think someone wants to eat with me today because I missed my birthday. So, probably not going to freaking count calories tomorrow. But the most important thing is we are staying locked in. But, it's just unfortunate that, I locked in during this period of time. But yeah, the episode's coming out. Well, I guess it'll already be out in this post. Yeah, it's 10/17/2025. So the birthday episode is currently being scheduled. I'm rendering the YouTube video. I got all that. But yeah, I would say keep an eye out for it, but it's already posted by the time you guys see this. All right, guys, just a little bit of a conundrum we have here. So it's almost, oh my gosh, it's almost 7 a.m. I've been up all night. And also, I'm going to the gym, about to hit chest and arms, but I forgot that I have ran out of food and I've ran out of laundry detergent. So I have to go to the store after this. Frick! What people don't tell you is locking in is going to be harder than just doing whatever you want. But they don't tell you it's basically rigged against you. You have to buy specific food. You have to care about stuff. You have to worry about stuff. In reality, all this stuff that I'm doing, I'm going to die in less than 100 years. it really doesn't freaking matter what I do. I mean, when I think about it, the more I do these things, the more I think, like, what is the freaking point of doing all this stuff? You know, do I really want to be buff? Because people, like, don't care anymore. I don't care, really. I mean, I don't want to be, like, out of shape, but, like, I don't want to... I mean, I'm locked in. I got to figure some stuff. I'm not at rock bottom anymore. I don't want you to think that. Because I am locked in. I've been going for over a week straight, you know, on schedule. But, like, holy freaking cow. Like, people never tell you. They tell you, like, it's hard to lock in, but they don't actually tell you, like, it's hard because it's, you know, the odds are against you, you know, and then you know, those same people will tell you that, like, gambling's bad. Okay, well, it's the same premise. The odds are against you in gambling. The odds are against you locked in. Being locked in just has a better, like, reputation. I mean, so, like, it's about the same, if I'm being honest, you know, because at least with gambling, like, you can make, like, $1 million if you play your cards right. Locked in, I mean, you just get big biceps, you get, like, big freaking legs, you get big chest, like, you know, like, what's that really gonna do? I mean, then the small chance that, like, a freaking boulder falls on top of the girl you like, and then you have to pick up the boulder, she then says how strong you are. Like, really, is that gonna happen? No, but I think that's a better chance of winning a freaking hand of blackjack whenever you put $1,000 bet in. I mean, come on. All right, guys, just a little bit of bad news. So first of all, you know, I took 30 milligrams of melatonin yesterday. Holy cow, I'm still feeling the effects. Like, I woke up yesterday and I was so tired, like, I could move, but, like, my mind wasn't allowing me to, basically. Yeah, so I woke up, I had a freaking headache, and then, you know, in order to combat the 30 milligrams of melatonin, I drank 3 Monsters that day, and I still, like, don't feel good. So I didn't go to the gym yesterday. But what we're gonna do is, tomorrow's my rest day, so I'm gonna do what I was gonna do yesterday, today, and tomorrow I'm going to do what I should do today, and then my schedule's just gonna restart. Also, another thing, I thought I was gonna have some bad news because this last, like, 3 days, like I talked about, I wasn't counting calories. It was my birthday. I had 2 pieces of cake. I ate out, like, twice, I think. And yeah, somehow I lost weight. You know, I started out at, like, 217, I think. And then I went down to I think I'm at 216.5 now. So I don't know how that works. But I mean, also a little bit of bad news. I got to go to the store. We ran out of groceries, so I'm really going to cut it short. Like, I'm going to go to the store, go to the gym, cook the food, go to work. So we're really cutting it short. We're on a thin line here. We're on a fine line. We're teetering the line. I am freaking hungry. Holy cow, I didn't realize that. But yeah, I guess I've been doing good overall. I mean, besides that one day that I skipped, which I guess in reality it didn't matter that much because I lost weight. But besides that one day that I skipped, I mean, overall, I guess we're doing okay. All right, it's been a little bit. I don't remember the last time I recorded. I think the last time I recorded was my birthday, which was almost a week ago. So, just a little update on everything. I slept probably like 20 hours yesterday. So, I haven't, like, locked out. Is that the opposite of locked in? I don't know. I'm not, like, out of the game yet, you know, because I woke up and I'm 212 pounds. So I'm losing weight still, and I'm sticking to the diet and everything. But holy cow, you know, I just want a piece of pizza. You know, is that too much to ask? Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna go to. It's hard to stay awake. I'm gonna go to the gas station, get an energy drink. Yeah, and go from there. And then I'm gonna go to the gym and do chest and arms. And then I gotta post a TikTok about how I lost weight. So let's get into it. All right, guys. We've been doing all right, to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. You know, the other day or yesterday, I ate quite a bit of food. Anything you can imagine, I ate. But, you know, for somehow, didn't gain a freaking ounce. I woke up 212.9, and the day before that I was 212.9, I think. So, I mean, now I kind of know my maintenance. I can literally eat everything out of the freaking garbage can if I wanted to. Nothing would happen. Anyways, we're still freaking locked in. 3 weeks straight. Wild. Crazy statement. You know, a lot of you guys didn't believe in me. A lot of you guys thought I'd fail. Look at me now. Look at me freaking now. I do have to get a lot of other stuff together, though. Like, everything besides the gym. Got to fix that. But at least I'm building a good body. But it is chest and arms today. And yeah, we're going to get that done. We're going to see what happens. Yeah, honestly, it is kind of like what I'm saying. The more I'm locked in, the less like I want to talk about it. The less funny it is. Because it was funny whenever I shaved my head doing the ramen diet, chicken and rice diet. It was funny doing all that stuff. But the second you're locked in, like, what am I going to talk about? You know, like, I know my channel's now kind of, which isn't what I wanted, by the way, but my channel's built around me failing. You know, fail. So what do I do whenever I win? I don't know. Maybe I got to do something stupid. You know, maybe I might get a face tattoo or something. I don't know, because quite frankly, like, it's boring to even talk about. I used to think that this kind of stuff was cool, like locking in. It's so freaking boring. Like, you know, I want to do everything wrong. You know, just maybe it's just because I'm familiar with it, but it's so freaking boring living a normal life. You know, locking in. And whenever the chance of something going wrong is there, you know, that is where life gets a little interesting. I don't want to like live, even though I'm going up, like I'm still like I feel like I'm plateauing because it's so freaking boring. And, you know, people will come up to me and they're talking about stories like, oh, I just put a down payment on my mortgage. I just bought a new car. How boring is that? You know, and then I tell them I gambled myself into $300 in debt. And they're like, oh, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Listen, we're all going to die. We're all going to die one day. The amount of money you have, the amount of money I have, you know, who really freaking cares? You know, you guys are so worried about stuff that doesn't really matter. The only reason you think it matters is because you don't know how to operate whenever stuff goes bad. You know, I was literally at rock bottom. I was out of shape, in debt. Everything was going wrong, and I was just fine. I figured it out. You know, maybe I'm more intelligent than you, because if you were in that position, you'd be freaking out. You know what I did? I slept all day. I didn't care. Yeah, who freaking cares? Who cares? You know, another thing that I've realized is regardless of the state I'm in, people are constantly freaking dogging on me for everything that I do. I have people telling me, you know, if you were more consistent, then maybe you would be bigger and stronger. You know, I've been consistent for the last 3 weeks. I know you're used to the version of me that isn't consistent, but that's actually pretty sad to say, because the people who are talking to me about that, I'm stronger than. I look better than. And some of them are freaking alcoholics. What in the world are you getting onto me for? You know, you have no room to talk. You know, instead of thinking like, you know, if Charlie took more time in the gym, maybe he would be stronger. You know, the fact of the matter is, I wasn't even trying, and I was still stronger than you. You know, and some of them might be thinking, well, at the rate that I'm going, I will surpass you in 4 months. Okay, you know, what's that gonna do? You know, go up to the girl that you like and tell her, I can bench more than Charlie big guy. You know what she's gonna do? She's probably gonna freaking walk away. You know, how about you figure out your own life, you know, and don't worry about mine, and then we'll all be in a good position. If I want to gamble myself into debt, if I want to shave my head, if I want to eat like crap, you know, that's on me. You know, you could be doing those things. You could tell me those things, and I'd say good for you. I don't care. You know, if you asked me for advice, probably would say keep going, you know. But, I mean, regardless to say, that kind of spins off into a life lesson. You know, I think that I'm a perfect example. You know, maybe this is right message, wrong messenger, you know, but I'm the perfect example of don't let the outside world, you know, third-party sources define the direction you're going to go. Because you'll see that whenever I was at the very bottom, people were critiquing me. Back in my prime, people were critiquing me. Right now, people are critiquing me. Regardless of what I do, you know, it seems like I'm just like the topic of a lot of conversations. But regardless of what I do, people are still, you know, they're still hating. They freaking hate me because they ain't me, I guess. I don't know. So you have to just understand right from wrong, and you just got to do what you got to do. And again, I lived in a state where I was in debt, out of shape, and I slept for 20 hours, because I truly didn't care. So take it from me. I mean, it's not the end of the world if stuff goes bad. You just have to not care about it, and then stuff will eventually look up. To the people saying you would be bigger and stronger if you worked out more consecutively. First of all, I'm stronger than you. Second of all, whenever I wasn't trying, I was stronger than you. Third of all, I'm officially out of retirement. So, you're about to see my potential. You're about to see the beast inside of me come out, little boy. And you're just going to sit in the corner and cry. You're going to say, oh, what did you do different? What did you do? Actually, you'll probably still be dissing on me. But regardless, you're about to see. And you're going to be in awe. Anyways, I'm going to go inside and work out.
Don't say that's so simple, because all night sat here. Moving and man, we need to run. Let's hurry and get out of here. Do you know what he's doing right now? Instead of risking his life for our sake.
I won't let this end here. I have to keep my eye fixed on a slim chance at victory. Keep turning the heat up. More. Even hotter. I won't stop fighting until I turn this ugly bastard into ash! I'll go plus ultra! Providence! Can't see a damn thing, can't see a damn thing, they like Steve, they can't see me, they won't beat me, I'm in that guinea.
All right, guys, we are still locked in a sense. I feel like every other clip that I do is a little bit, back and forth. So I'll say, like, I did this bad thing, and I did this horrible thing. But I'll say, but I'm still going to the gym. I mean, I'm still locked in. I mean, the beginning of this whole thing was, I had to kind of figure out how to lock in the gym. But I mean, in reality, I think that the gym is kind of like a stepping stone to like real life. I mean, if you want to get like in a technical space, the gym is the most linear way to track progress. The more that you work, the more progress you're going to see in the future. I mean, you'll see all the time people saying that if you're able to be consistent in the gym and you take that idea, you're going to be able to apply that to every other area in your life. But what they don't tell you is this is the dark side of the gym. Now that I've kind of been on both sides, I've been in the position where I'm freaking locked in. I've been in the position where I'm not consistent, and then I've been in the position where I just don't go at all. Now, there's a big stigma with this trend of go to the gym, eat right, do this, and then your life's gonna turn around. I mean, yeah, that's true, but like, what's gonna happen? I mean, I was thinking about this because from point A to point B, and I've started to realize this. I've mentioned it a few times, and I think in just this video over the past like couple weeks or so, I've noticed this. But when you go from point A to point B, what's next? There's gonna be a new point B. So really, was there even the first point B to begin with, or is just the point B when you die? Because if you're just going to continue doing that cycle up until as long as you can possibly think, is there really a point B? Like I've said, I've started missing the things that I was doing in between point A and point B.
I got no hair and I'm going to be overweight.
I hate to say this, but we're only going to eat chicken and rice until I look good. Well, I think I have a gambling addiction, possibly. First step that we're gonna do to fix my financial status, I'm gonna starve myself. And quite frankly, I think that my life was a little more exciting whenever I was closer to point A, because I was doing these crazier things. I had to think a little bit harder of how am I gonna get out of this situation. And it's definitely cool to look back on. on the things that I've done in order to try to get out of it. I mean, some things are unconventional. Like, I wouldn't recommend to anybody get a freaking tattoo so that you can lock in, or in order to fix your financial status, only eat ramen for however long until you gamble your way back up $5,000 out of debt. But I mean, really think about it. Like, what is next? And in the last video, I said what's next. But now that I'm kind of close to the end of this series, hopefully I don't have to freaking redo this again. There's kind of a comedic aspect to every single video. I mean, you can scroll back before the Project Lock-In. There was one called, like, a change needs to happen. I went back on my word. I got fat. The diet starts tomorrow. Every single video after a certain point was, I gotta lock in. I've been inconsistent for a while. But once I'm locked in, like, what do I do? What do I do? That's a new challenge. And maybe you're going to see me spiral into, like, insanity because I don't know what to do. But the point I'm trying to bring up is that you can't focus your life in one area. Because if I only focused on the gym, what am I going to have besides that? You have to figure out other things to do. And I think that's, like, a very big challenge for other people. Because a lot of people would say, if you ask them, what's your hobby? A lot of them would say, oh, I go to the gym. But in reality, I mean, there's two types of people that go to the gym. There's the type that is inconsistent, and then there's the type that, like, that's all that they do. Speaking to the, the latter, are you really benefiting anything besides your body just by going to the gym all the time? If you're so strict on going to the gym all the freaking time, and you have no leniency for anything else, because if your diet wraps around that, your sleep wraps around that, your schedule wraps around that, in reality, that's not a hobby. Playing the piano is a hobby. Or I guess this could apply to anything if you overdo it. But I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, if this is the end of Project Lock-In and I'm finally locked in, the only thing that's benefited is my health. I'm still in the same position that I was in the beginning. I just look better than I did. There's some food for thought. No one ever really thinks of that. What are you going to do once you hit your goals? If you were in a position where you were not in good shape, whether that be overweight or extremely scrawny, and you told someone who is obsessed with going to the gym, I want to get to this point and then I'm good. I just want to maintain. I just don't want to look like the way I do now. That person's going to tell you, you say that at first, but then you're going to get obsessed. Yeah, I was in that position. I tried to get certain people in the gym who didn't like the way they looked. For a while, I wanted to be a personal trainer, but I tried to get them into the gym. And whenever they said that, I told them, you think that way now, but when you get to a certain point, you want to keep going. The issue with that is, even though you're benefiting, you're not working on other aspects of your life. Quite frankly, once this is said and done, I don't know what I'm going to do. As I'm getting closer towards the end of this whole thing, I keep emphasizing the fact that, I kind of want to do it again, or I'm going to miss the in between the point A and point B, which I am going to miss. I mean, life was more exciting. I mean, I've said this, I think in just the last clip I said that life's boring as a regular person. It's difficult to live as a normal person. Even having conversations, and I'm not saying I'm better than the average person, but just go up to somebody and say, how are you doing today? And that person's probably going to say, good. They will never say bad. They'll say good, or, oh, I'm living. And like, how do you go from there? Like, that's extremely boring. Whenever people ask me, how are you doing? I'll tell them, well, I think I've developed a gambling addiction. Or they'll see me and my head's bald. It's difficult to say, what's next. I say all this, and the main thing I wanted to bring up, this is kind of a life lesson. This is going to be filled with life lessons, I guess. But you got to focus on other areas in your life other than the gym. I mean, this series served its purpose. It's not completely done yet. I'm going to stop it whenever I get around 200 pounds. But it served its purpose with just the gym. But like I've said, once I'm done with this, what's next? I'm going to be the same guy in a better body. So whenever you say I'm going to lock in, you need to lock in more than one area. Everything needs to be in perfect unison. Because, you know, if you want to make friends or if you want to date somebody, if the only thing you have is you go to the gym, you know, that person's going to like peek into your life and they're going to realize you got a lot of stuff wrong with you. So it's cool at a surface level to have extremely good health, but, you know, you gotta apply that to other areas. And it sounds like, you know, when I say this, it sounds like obviously that's the case, but you'd be surprised at, you know, how far deep into the rabbit hole you'll get whenever you do this whole lock-in thing. And that applies to anybody. I know I took it to kind of an extreme. And in reality, I didn't really, I mean, I did extreme things, but I didn't take it to an extreme. I just kind of documented my thought process and the things that I was going through as it happened. I mean, most of the stuff that I did wasn't special. I just either went to the gym or I didn't go to the gym. I lived life normally and I just set up a camera and I talked to it. But I mean, I don't think I'm a special case in any regard. You know, there's probably thousands of people out there who are struggling financially. They probably are not in the best shape. They probably miss a certain version of themselves. But, you know, even if I took one other thing, like let's say I didn't care about going to the gym and I focused on making a lot of money, what's next after that point? Now I have a lot of money, but I'm not in good shape and all the other bad things in my life. I mean, the fact that I can't even think of more than one example, either money or either health or money, I mean, kind of proves that I haven't worked on anything else besides the gym and my finances. There's a lot of other stuff you got to work on. I don't know. Maybe, again, this is going to be a lifestyle channel, like I've said in the past, because I really got to fix a lot of stuff besides that. I'm not saying I'm in a freaking horrible position, but, I mean, everyone has stuff they have to fix. And if you focus primarily in one area, you know, you're just asking to not succeed. You know, you have to figure out a whole group of things to fix so that in time you will shoot upwards. I think it's easy to kind of get lost into these, because right now, I mean, and I don't see it stopping. I mean, the gym is kind of becoming a trend, and in reality, the people you watch aren't very different than you. They go to the gym, and in reality, they probably are in a better position than you because they have more stuff going on than just the gym. You know, the version of them you're seeing is just the gym, but they have their own lives. But when it's pinpointed on that specific thing that they do, it kind of gives a false interpretation of, you know, how someone should be. So I think that there's going to be like a big epidemic. I really do, of people who just, you know, don't know how to talk because they're in the gym all day. They don't know how to resolve their issues, but at the very least, they're buff. At least they have that. You know, at least they know how to bulk. At least they know how to cut. At least they hit 315 on bench. To wrap this little segment up, like I said, I'm addicted to the struggle. So I gotta fix other stuff. I gotta start back at surface level and find something else that, you know, I'm not the best at. And I got to work my way up from there because I've already improved my finances. I've already improved my health, dieting, all that stuff. I'm starting to prioritize things a little better. But, I mean, if I enjoy the struggle, I got to find stuff I'm bad at. I don't have to create new struggles. I have to find stuff I'm bad at already and fix that. I think that as of right now, I would be in a worse position if I never recorded myself. You know, I think that me thinking about it all the time, me having to think constantly about the next video that I make actually helped me. If I'm just constantly not progressing, and then I think I got to make a video about this, you know, and in a sense, it's a little bit of a, you know, humiliation ritual. You know, it's not good to just be like, oh, I ate a pack of powdered donuts, you know, in every single video. You want to have a little bit of variety, you know, but I mean, yeah, I'll end this segment here. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next. Like I said, this is getting boring to talk about because I'm locking in already. So here we go. Bang.
Charles, why are you eating ice cream? And why are you eating my birthday cake? Aren't you trying to lose weight?
How could a guy say no?
All right, it's the first incoming bad news this entire episode. This entire documentary, bad news. It was good. You know, I was going to be on Santa's nice list before too long. But, you know, so as you saw in the last clip, you know, I didn't go to the gym today. I didn't track my calories, I guess, for the last 2 days. I was at like 211.9. I'll probably be like 215 tomorrow. So I kind of went back a week, but you know, I'm gonna disguise it on TikTok as a refeed week, so people are gonna think I know what I'm talking about. In reality, I just wanted to eat. But you know, like I said, like I've been saying, you know, just one little hiccup isn't resetting the entirety of this series, or I guess this episode. You know, in fact, I think that before, whenever I was like at my peak, I think that would have really, you know, ruffled my feathers a little bit. But I mean, in reality, it's not the end of the world. I'm trying to implement a healthy lifestyle, not just like these little spurts, because now I look back and I realize that the way that I was doing stuff probably wasn't the best way, because I was sacrificing every other aspect of my life for the gym. I'm trying to, you know, incorporate the gym into my life and then level up every other area of my life as well. So one day out of the gym, I mean, even if I took a week out of the gym, like even the months I took off of the gym, in the grand scheme of things, if I continue to go up, if I continue to lock in, then it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, now let's say that I had these few months that I took off, in comparison to, let's say I do this for the rest of my life. Is 4 months really going to set me back that far? Not really. You know, not really. So, I mean, why I'm not too worried about it anymore. My goal is to lock in, but you know, I think I'm redefining locked in. And no one ever talks about this. You know, they talk about go to the gym. They talk about you got to have your life revolve around it. You don't got to have your life revolve around it, or else you're going to be a freaking loser in a good body. And that's just the reality. Welcome to reality, buddy. People got stuff going on besides the gym. But for real, like, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I'm going to pick it back up tomorrow, and then in a month, in 2 months, in 3, in a year, I'm going to forget this day even happened. You know, I have had so many days where I skip in the past, and I don't even remember them now. I can only think of a couple instances, and those are the ones where I intentionally skipped so I could prioritize something else. But the days that I just skipped and I didn't go, I really don't remember. So, and if I were consistent this whole time, what does that have to, what does that show you? When you skip a day, it's not that big of a deal. News flash to all my gym rats. You know, I'm speaking reality to you guys, and everyone else is, you know, saying false information to you. They're just flapping their gums. You just do your normal life, implement the gym. You can make it your lifestyle. You can have a healthy lifestyle, but don't sacrifice the other stuff going on in your life for the gym, or else you're going to die alone. And you're going to be, quite frankly, you're going to be a loser in a good body. And I mean, if your goal is to not be able to fit in the casket because your shoulders are too wide, and that's what you want people to see, but in reality, people aren't going to see it because you didn't make any friends, you abandoned your family, you know, is that really that big of a deal? If the end goal is to have such broad shoulders, you're not fitting in the casket, is that really good? To each their own, I guess. Some of you guys might be wondering, what's with the angle? Why'd you change the angle? It's freaking time, guys. It's time to end the series. I thought that I'd end the video with the way that I started it, with the camera up in my face, and you guys can't see anything but my head. Just as a little cute little callback, you know what I mean? This is day 1. We are locking back in. But no, the reason I'm ending the series is because I believe that I'm locked in. I've gone to the gym for a month consistently, and that's a month longer than the amount of time I've been in the gym for in the last like 6 months, I'd say. But I mean, the fact that I have recently not been able to talk about anything I thought that this documentary was going to be longer, but I locked in pretty quickly. But the fact that I haven't been able to talk about anything kind of shows that, I'm locked in. It made me think this is going to go a little bit philosophical. But what's the definition of locked in? If I ended the series when I hit my goal, was I not locked in up until that point if I hit the goal? So where does it fall? I'm in the process of hitting my goals. I'm locked in. But, I mean, just because you haven't hit your goal yet doesn't mean you're not locked in. The series, I think the reason I didn't want to end this is because, I don't know what I'm going to do next. And quite frankly, looking back, the journey to this position was a little bit fun. I'd do it all over again. The issue is, I can no longer do stuff in order to lock in because I'm already locked in. I can't shave my head bald to lock in.
Hair's not coming back until I look good.
I can't only eat chicken and rice to lock in. I hate to say this, but we're only going to eat chicken and rice until I look good. I can't only eat ramen to fix my finances. We're about to see the effects of a ramen pump. And I can't get a tattoo to lock in. I found a solution to make me forever locked in. I got a tattoo. So really, what's next? I don't know. But the series has definitely opened up my eyes. I've learned a lot. I've learned that I don't need to make the gym the focal point in my life. Instead, I needed to implement the gym into my life. You see all these people online saying, go to the gym. And really, unless you're wanting to get a Young LA sponsorship or a Gymshark sponsorship, you're an average guy. I'm an average guy. We're not making millions from going to the gym. So what's the point of focusing on this one thing? People like it because they look good. But if you focus your entire life on the gym, you idolize the gym, it's not going to be good. You're going to have narcissistic tendencies, but even if you're very humble, you're definitely going to push people away. And the relationships that you could have possibly formed are not going to be there. Because if you keep telling people, no, I can't do this, because of the gym, they're going to tell you no, eventually, because they're going to get tired of you saying no to them wanting to do stuff. But I think the main thing that I've learned is, and I'm going to do a callback to a video before the Project Lock-In series even happened, was I said, I got to lock in more than one area, But yeah, that was true. The fact that I stepped away from the gym, the fact that I brought myself so low and I wasn't going to the gym, it kind of opened my eyes and showed me the things that I have to fix besides the gym. So now I feel like I'm in a better position than I was at the beginning. Maybe objectively I'm not. I think I am, but objectively maybe I'm not. But the room for potential is astronomical. If I had just stuck to what I was doing since solitary confinement, I would have definitely either stayed consistently where I was at, or I would have dropped a little bit. Maybe I would have rose a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of potential there. And that was the whole reason I did this whole thing. We made a lot of good memories, had a lot of fun, but all good things must come to an end. This isn't the end of Charlie Big Guy. This isn't the end. It is, it's a little bittersweet moment, but it's hopefully the end of Project Lock-In. If you guys see a season 2, and I messed up. I'm everything that I've said here, disregard it, because I lied, apparently. This probably isn't the way that people envision the series ending. This definitely isn't the way that I envision the series ending. I thought that I'd, be extremely buff with abs, but I definitely look better than I did when it started. And like I've said before, I'm redefining locked in. You don't have to make everything revolve around the gym. Surprise, surprise, believe it or not. But yeah, I enjoyed the ride. Definitely enjoyed the ride. I'd do it all over again. I had ups and downs, downfalls, a lot of freaking downfalls. I think the difference now is I'm having ups and downs, but I'm not having downfalls. I'm just having a day or two where honestly, I haven't really had 2 days where I skipped the gym, but I'm either having a day that I've skipped the gym, or sometimes I'm shaky on my diet. That's just part of life. That's just how life goes sometimes. But as long as you can overall make upwards progress, I'd say you're locked in. As long as you're rising to a specific goal and you have something in mind, I think you're locked in. I would say that I'm locked in. And honestly, once I end this video, maybe I won't be locked in anymore. Maybe this video was the sole determining driving force behind me locking in. Now that I'm locked in, what am I going to do? And I'm going to end this video with a callback to the solitary confinement video, the genesis of this whole thing. I allowed my mental state to decline so my physical state could go up. And it freaking worked!